gentlemen, welcome back to another story where we're trying to solve this detective thing.
Let me see. Yes. I drove in here because I remember well I went over the river, and then there was a church there. Yeah. And I probably parked. Well, I remember seeing a street sign called Princess Street. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure it must be this one. There.
What about river and...
Remember well. Okay, you got me. I used a made-up name. And you could hear the church bells.
Okay, what about business?
We were there. It was a dirty weekend. Simon was going to expense it, pretend it was a business trip. I used a made-up name.
Oh, a new one. Look at that, say business.
He has a wallet, a huge sealed thing, leather, real leather, I think. He packs it full of stuff, business cards, receipts, lottery tickets. He always carries it in his back pocket. I think that's why he's got a bad back. He sets the discs. I haven't seen it, so he must have it on him.
Okay.
He always takes it out of his back pocket before, when he comes in, if he's in the house.
Well, actually, do...
He packs it full of stuff, business cards, receipts, lottery tickets. He always carries it in his back pocket. I think that's why he's got a bad back.
I just want to make sure that I got this. I do a lot of this because... Ah! No. Okay. What about just love? I need to rewatch it.
He has a wallet, a huge, silly thing, leather, real leather, I think. He packs it full of stuff, business cards, receipts. Leather, real leather, I think. He packs it, has it in his back pocket. I think that's why he's got a bad back.
Bad back.
I think that's why he's got a bad back. Offsets the discs. I haven't seen it, so he must have it on him when he comes in.
Oh, I want to try receipts. What about the same? No, I. No. No. I feel like some of them need to.
Okay, you got me. Name. Let me see. Yes. I drove in here because I remember well.
Where about drove?
I drove in here because I remember well. I went over the river. And then there was a church. There. Yeah. And the part, well, I remember seeing a street sign called Princess Street. There it is.
I don't actually see. Library supermarket.
Let me see.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Okay, you got the hotel, had room service, didn't leave the room, had a great
actually, let's see, of the couple of things. Three, which I only have. So there has to be a more. Choose. Points. No. What about 12? I know that not technically would, but something new.
I think when I drove back it was about 8 or something.
I love solving
And I
this.
got back to the house about 3.
Okay. So 8 to 3.
I think when I drove back it was about 8 or something. And I got back to the house about 3.
She's saying 3 is 2 times, so. Yes! I'm excited. Okay, good. Sorry. I just want to double check. Good. Okay, I played this.
I think so. I mean, to get into our garden, we'd have to climb through other gardens. All the gardens back onto each other, so you'd have to climb over 1, 2, 3 gardens to get to ours. I mean, did anyone see anything? Did anyone see anyone come and go? An intruder?
Intruder?
I think so. I mean, to get into our garden, we'd have to climb through other gardens. All the gardens back onto each other, so you'd have to climb over 1, 2, 3 gardens to get to ours. I mean, did anyone see anything? Did anyone see anyone come and go? An intruder?
No.
No, no one has been in the last few weeks. We had a plumber come in 3, 4 weeks ago. Someone sang with you from the rock. No, no one has been from the. Someone sang you from the rock.
There to go, talking to Simon.
I think it was that time, the first time, at the house, in his bed, that I got pregnant. Amazing, right? This fucking magic sperm. And they say lightning doesn't strike twice. I didn't tell him. I missed 3 periods. I had pretty irregular periods anyway, but 3. I had always thought we were infertile. Both of us. I didn't tell him. Just waited. Hannah and I were meeting for our birthday, and I told her because I thought she would be happy for us both. I think she was. I think it was. I had always thought we were infertile. Both of us. Like I said before, it was 3, something like that. I walked in, saw Simon. He was on the floor of the living room. His throat had been cut. There was a lot of blood. He was dead. Yes. He left after the argument. It was about 8 o'clock.
Okay.
About 8 years back. It was a present to myself. I shouldn't even be drinking coffee with the baby. It's been hard trying to give it up. I think they say you can have 1 cup. I shouldn't even be drinking coffee with the baby. It's been hard trying to give it up.
I know this is not a prison, but like it is at the same time. More. You see what I mean?
Black coffee, thanks. No sugar. Sweet enough as it is. Black coffee, thanks. No sugar. Sweet enough as it is.
I'm sure you are.
No. I've had enough coffee for today, thanks. Glass of water.
So now what?
Coffee, I guess. Milk and sugar.
Milk and sugar.
Coffee, I guess. Milk and sugar.
What is actually do this? No.
Yeah. I mean, I was infertile. Thought I was. They told me I was infertile after miscarriage because of complications. Yeah. Complications. Hannah had a miscarriage.
Oh.
This was late in the pregnancy and it left her infertile. Felt like the universe had corrected its course. We were aligned again. But Hannah and Simon were still living with his parents. They were married. Simon had a job at the Glaziers now. Eric had given him a full-time position after he left school. And then
I do want to talk about the glacier.
a mobile phone? Yeah. Well, they have one for the Glaziers, but it's only for work. I can't remember the number. Oh, it's in the kitchen. I saw it plugged into its charging cradle.
Okay, I feel like there's clues in that.
I did. Well, we met when we were 17, both working at the Glaziers.
Interesting.
No. Everyone loved Simon. He's a glazier, he doesn't have much money. I don't know. I don't know. No. Everyone loved Simon. He's a glazier, he doesn't have much money. I don't know. I don't know. A mobile phone? Yeah. Well, they have one for the Glaziers, but it's in the kitchen. I saw it plugged into its charging cradle. A mobile phone? Yeah. Well, they have one for the Glaziers, but it's only for work. Bruce? Oh, yeah, no, it's nothing. I was going through the top cupboard in my kitchen and the chair slipped and I kind of hit the door with my face. We hurt like hell.
Ooh.
Bruise. Oh yeah, no, it's nothing. I was going through the top cupboard in my kitchen and the chair slipped and I kind of hit the door with my face.
Really?
We hurt like hell. No. The whole thing was wrong. The bags, I think they were from our kitchen, you can probably check that. We never go into the cellar. It's just a place we put things we don't need. Dad used to grow mushrooms there. The bags were taped up. I think it was parcel tape, but I think it was ours. Okay. I parked up in the street. It was busy, so I had to park down the end of the road. Walked up, knocked on the door, no answer. I took my keys out of my bag and unlocked the door. The main lock was unlocked. You can tell because the key doesn't turn when you try to turn it to the left. I walked in. Simon's coat wasn't on the peg. I couldn't see his shoes in the shoe rack. I shouted out. I walked straight into the kitchen because he usually sits in there to have a cup of tea and read his paper, but he wasn't there. I touched the kettle, it was cold. I looked quickly in the living room, nothing. So I walked upstairs to the bedroom and he wasn't there. I didn't search for him because it was pretty clear he wasn't there. I had a shower, the phone rang whilst I was in the shower. I didn't answer it, I think it was Eric. Then I was just exhausted. So I lay down on the bed and I fell asleep, though I didn't mean to. I woke up a couple of hours later and I was surprised to see no one in the bed next to me. And then I remembered where I was and what had happened. That's when Eric called again. This time I spoke to him. Then I called Doug and Eleanor. And then I decided to come and see you. That enough?
Now, who is Doug? And Eleanor?
Yeah. I've been round to Doug and Eleanor's and they're very worried. I feel sorry for them.
Why you feel sorry?
I hoover, I dust every week, maybe less. I once asked Eleanor how often I should dust and she said, if people ask, tell them you do it once a week, but every few weeks is okay. I think she was just trying to make me feel better. I mean, when I was there, she was hoovering every day. You know, ran an ordered house. You know how that generation is, putting on a brave front. She has secret stashes of cigarettes. Doug doesn't even know she smokes. When I was there, I saw her. She has these sort of porcelain vases, ornamental, next to the Reader's Digest books. Cigarettes inside. And she still has them. I mean, last time I was there, I looked in a vase. There was a fresh pack. said it was food poisoning. There was something in the food they ate. My dad liked to pick mushrooms, grow them too. They said it was the mushrooms. It was hard to believe. Death caps. They have a skirt around the cap. My dad taught me that. But, the police had no reason to think it was suspicious. They lived alone, and no one had any reason to hurt them. I was living in the attic. It was a very hard time. I was depressed, was still pretty sick of the STD. And I came down one morning and they were dead.
You killed them.
They were in bed and both had been sick. They'd thrown up a lot. And I'd slept through it. The police said it was the mushrooms they ate. Dad was a mushroom expert. He used to take us picking with him and he taught us how to recognise them. There's no way you would have picked death caps. But the police believe that's what happened. They never even looked in the attic. The parents decided there would be a wedding. And after the wedding, Hannah moved in with his parents. There was no way I could follow, so we were separated again. I stayed in the attic. It was hard. It's like I suddenly didn't exist. I would sneak out, but in case anyone recognized me, I started wearing a wig. Hannah and I would meet up in the park. I was trying to get pregnant, but I couldn't. I couldn't do it with anyone we knew, so it was sex with strangers, drunk guys I'd met in clubs, parks and alleyways. I was 17. It felt like I was being punished. But it was Hannah who had betrayed us. I had to stop when one of the guys gave me an STD. When we met up, it was disturbing. For the first time, my reflection, she didn't look like me. She was fatter, flushed. If anything, I was getting skinnier. I found it hard to look sometimes. We talked about what to do. Was it time to become our own people? That seemed like the right thing to do, but neither of us wanted it. We agreed that her and Simon would get their own place as soon as possible, and then I could move in. And that was the plan. the bruise. I have a really fast metabolism, so stuff like that just comes and goes. I don't know if there's much more that I can tell you that I haven't already told the other policemen. I found the body. If one of us got hurt, the other one would have to be hurt too. A grazed knee, a bruise. When I lost my tooth first, we had to pull our Hannah's to match. Once, I slept with a boy who was seeing another girl. The girlfriend came up to Hannah the next day and punched her in the face, gave her a huge black eye. That night, she had to do the same to me. And she almost went too far. I couldn't see out of that eye for days. She snuck a frozen pizza up for me from the kitchen. So much of our bodies was synchronised anyway. We started our period on the same day. All our childhood diseases, stomach bugs, nits. This was about 9. I went round and she was waiting for me. She was furious and so angry, the kind of anger you can only have towards yourself. We screamed at each other, argued, cried, we fought. I hit her back, left a bruise. I had my wig on from performing, she tore it off. Eventually, we grew tired of fighting and I left. Then my parents died. It was the worst year of my life. A miscarriage and then my parents.
I bet.
Yeah. They'd gone to bed feeling ill, thinking it was flu or something. The neighbour called me, I had to use my key to let them in. We found them dead in their bed. And they'd been there for days. No one had noticed. Just awful. It was so soon after my miscarriage, the worst year of my life. And I'd been so happy to get married, and after that it was just like, fuck. mean, I guess the Rock. You've spoken to everyone there. Someone must have seen where he went. I don't know. So many things could have gone wrong. We loved our cat, Domino. He had this little bell around his neck to stop him from killing birds in the garden. We loved our cat, Domino. He had this little bell around his neck to stop him from killing birds in the garden. And we used to write each other notes and put them in the bell, and we could send them to each other. Mum found some of the notes once, and she thought I was just writing to myself because our handwriting was identical. And we had our own words for things, so she didn't quite understand them anyway.
I don't know if I got into. I don't remember. No.
No cat. My parents had a cat before they died called Domino. It was this little black thing with white dots. And we never did anything about the cat flap, but if you were thin, you could maybe squeeze through it.
So, one say something to something other. Coffee with the baby.
Black, no sugar. Thanks.
Black with no
Black no sugar. Thanks. Black no sugar. Thanks.
What about milk and sugar? No, just one. Okay. What about sweet enough? Got this. I feel like
Black no sugar. No, no cat. My parents had a cat before they died called Domino. It was this little black thing with white dots.
this little black thing with white dots.
Dots. And we never did anything about the cat flap, but if you were thin, you could maybe squeeze through it.
Okay. The only reason I said thin, I was just thinking about the other one where she's talking about fat and ones, but this is interesting.
The mirror. I can't remember. I put it somewhere safe. Upstairs, I think. I haven't looked at it since.
Why?
We were obsessed with fairy tales. Not just the pretty, pretty ones, but the traditional ones. They were dark and real, bizarre and violent. Felt like life. We had this huge old book that I think Mum must have bought from a library sale. The illustrations had thin tracing paper over them to protect them. They were in colour, shiny plates. At the front of the book was an index of illustrations. We read that more than the actual stories. We'd read aloud the captions and flip between the pictures. There was something intimate about peeling back the tracing paper, undressing the pictures. Rapunzel's hair is cut. The eagle plucks out his heart. The princess pricks her finger.
Ooh, so many details.
We were obsessed. We were obsessed with fairy tales. Not just the pretty, pretty illustrations. Library sale. The illustrations had thin tracing paper over them to protect them. There was something intimate about peeling back the tracing. Shiny plates. At the front of the book was an index of illustrations.
Okay. That is a noun. Pictures.
Sorry. The picture, the way it's drawn, just reminded me of the books we used to read as children. I read those fairy tales over and over, and they were so real to me. Rapunzel was my favourite. My brain is just full of it. Are any of these in colour?
Okay. Can we say something?
Are any of these in colour?
Covered. No. What about old book? No. What about this iPad?
And the Glaziers. I worked there some weekends, and Simon had a part-time job there too. That was Eric's generosity. He was always good at helping out other people's children. Simon was quiet, more thoughtful than the other boys. Even then, he had a sense of craftsmanship. Wasn't always rushing stuff. Boys that age are just running around like headless chickens most of the time. You know? Plus, he had that look. He looked like a fairy tale prince from one of my books.
Which one?
Simon never cheated on me. He was devoted to me, and I was devoted to him.
I don't think you should know.
Nothing in life is easy. We were good to each other. Life isn't a fairy tale. You do what you can. Well, She wasn't my real mother, but she raised me. Do you want to hear the story? It's a real life fairy tale. Fairy tales. Stories about lost princesses, evil witches, magical mirrors, and lost children. So you see, even before I knew the truth, I'd found it in those stories.
Okay, that's not like again. I love it. I mean, I love actually solving it. I mean, look at this. We are literally almost done. I'm really checking all of this. This is awesome. Meal game. I have a theory because what are you doing? I don't want you serious. Both of them. It's a mirror game, right? Right? They're both mirror each other. And while she, the main woman that lost her husband, actually did technically cheated on, but without even Simon knowing. Just makes sense. Just saying. Think about it when we come back to this later. And I hope you have a wonderful day. I will see you later in the next solving